Hey gang, David Henry from Inspired Tennis. Bear with me while I get behind the stringing machine here. There we go, so now I can talk to you better. Hey, thanks for checking in. I'm doing a video tonight about multi-filament strings, and a question I often get, or questions I often get about multi-filaments. People often ask me, what is the best multi-filament, or they'll say, hey, I'm interested in trying this one. What are your thoughts on it, okay? And while I can't recommend, the perfect string for you, because obviously you each have your own style of play and preferences and budgets and things like that for your strings, I can still give my opinion, and if my opinion helps you out in any way, then that's great. So if the camera's shaking a little bit, I have to apologize. My cat was just bumping up against the stand where the camera was, but it looks like she's leaving the room now. So anyway, we'll move on from that, but forgive that little shakiness there in the camera. But anyway, a few years ago, about 3 years ago, before I started playing with a full bed of polyester, because as many of you know, my string of choice is Luxilon Alu-Power Rough. But before I started playing with that, made the switch to that, I was playing with a lot of Synguts and multi-filaments, and I conducted an experiment or a play test over about 3 weeks time period, where I tested 4 of the higher end multi-filaments, okay? Babolat Xcel Power, Technifiber X1 BiPhase, Gamma Livewire XP, and Vice Cannon Explosive, okay? At the time, those are some of the most popular multi-filaments on the market. They still really are, for all intents and purposes. And, so I played with all of those, and I'll give you kind of my feedback on each one, kind of going from my least favorite to my favorite, okay? And, but I have to say that they're all great strings, all higher end multi-filaments. So even though I say that one's my least favorite, doesn't mean it's a bad string by any means, okay? But my least favorite was the Vice Cannon Explosive. Back at the time, it was almost, I think it was a brand new string at the time, and it was getting a lot of good discussion, a lot of good feedback on the Talk Tennis message boards, where I tended to hang out and still do from time to time. And so that was one I wanted to definitely try, and I strung it up at 65 pounds. I strung all of these up at 65 pounds. That's what the tension I was using when I was playing with multis and Synguts. Since then, I've dropped my tension to about 57 with the full polyester. But back then, all of them I did up at 65, and it was a great string. I mean, stringing it was really soft, had a great feel, easy to string, as most multi-filaments are pretty easy to string and have a real good soft feel in the hands. And on the court, it had a real good feel, some decent power. The one thing that I noticed with that string, seems like I really had to work it in order to generate my normal amount of topspin. And so that was probably the reason that I ranked it my least favorite out of the 4, okay? Then probably next I would go with the Gamma Livewire XP. Again, another great multi-filament string, real soft, good touch feel, good power. I guess thinking back, my overall impression of that string was it was just kind of vanilla. There was nothing really great about it, and there certainly wasn't anything bad about it. It was just kind of an okay, pretty decent multi-filament string. And let me step back. I think to give you some price range perspective, I think the Vice Cannon Explosive sells for about $13.50 a set most places online, and then the Gamma Livewire XP, I think I saw that as well recently for about $13.50 per set. And then the next one that I'll rank, the one that I liked second best overall, was the Technifiber X1 BiPhase. And as you may know, that's a really popular multi-filament out there for the last several years. A lot of people play with it, a lot of people like it. And it was a really great string. I mean, really nice crispness to it, great feel, and a lot of power. Almost too much power. I guess that's probably why I didn't rank it as my favorite. But just a phenomenal string, and that one, I believe, it's a little bit more pricey than the other 2. I believe it sells for around $16 per set. And then the 4th one, but the one that I like best overall, is Babolat Xcel Power. just a phenomenal all-around multi-filament string. You know, great touch, great feel, really soft, nice crispness when you strike the ball, good spin, and just really nice power. I mean, just overall, it was just the one that struck me that, hey, I really like this one the best. And you know, what's funny is that of course, the one I liked the best was the one that's most expensive, because it's about $20 per set, but well worth it. I have recommended Xcel Power to quite a few of my clients for full jobs and then also hybrid jobs, and they really like it. In fact, one of my customers, or one of my clients, he's pretty picky about strings. He's a really good 4 or 5 player, really great doubles expert. And he's picky about his strings and his equipment, and I recommended that to him. He tried that up recently and absolutely loved it. He actually called me and left me a message and said, hey, great recommendation. I really like this string. It plays beautifully. So, you know, that is my pick for the number one, my most favorite of multi-filaments that I've tried out of those 4. And then I also have tried a couple of others since then. As full beds, and then also in hybrids, and those 2 are Technifiber Energy 2, and it's a great string. It sells for about $14 a set. It's probably the second tier multi-filament that Technifiber offers, with X1 BiPhase being their number 1, their premium multi-filament. But Energy 2, great string, again, really soft, great feel. I would say that it probably just has a little bit less power than X1 BiPhase, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, just depends on what you're looking for in a string. But it's a great string, and $2 cheaper per set than BiPhase, so that's another one that I do recommend from time to clients, and then they use and like. I really like that one though in a hybrid, because a lot of times people are looking for a way to soften up the overall string rate, because maybe they've got polys in the mains, but they're looking for some crosses to kind of soften up the overall string bed. And so Energy 2 is a great string for that. And then another one, if I have clients that are wanting a pretty good multi-filament, but don't kind of want to pay that price range of the $16 to $20, as you'll find in X1 BiPhase and Xcel Power, they're not looking for that high end of a multi and don't want to pay that price. Another really good one that I like, I've used once and I've recommended to clients and gotten some great feedback, is Babolat Xcel. I believe that's about $10, $11 per set, so it's a little bit on the less expensive side, but another really good string for people looking for a soft multi-filament to use. So anyway, that's my feedback on multis. Hope this information is useful to you, or anyone you know who is considering play testing a multi or making a switch to a new multi-filament type of string. If you have any questions, always reach out to me on my blog at www.inspired-tennis.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, send me a message through there, leave me a comment. Just get in touch with me any way you can. I'm always happy to answer questions if I can and discuss tennis strings. So that is all I have for tonight, gang. Thanks for checking in.